I will press play. I will press play whenever you start.
Okay.
Hey, hold on, is the door closed?
Yeah, it's close.
Okay, they're just loud, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so good morning, class. Today I will be talking about a topic that we've all seen, but we've not really processed enough, and that is how kids have grown up with social media and screen time and how it affects their childhood and how they've been growing up. So, it does, and the kind of reasons is because of the pressure it has on them every single day of their lives. This is something that we as kids, as young adults right now, didn't really grow up with, since we didn't have as much technology as they did. We did, but just a lot less. Nowadays, kids just get on their iPad, scroll all day, and just the day goes by and their childhood leaves. So this is because of the infinite scroll design that TikTok, Instagram, everything like that has on the phone, and that is just you scrolling all day for hours and hours and hours. So the three main points I will be talking about is the impacts on mental health, the decrease in ability and socialize, and effects on academic overall process and developments. So if we compare it to how we grew up as young adults, we see that kids nowadays just want designer items or want a new iPad or want to talk about the new drama going on TikTok, which is something sad to see since we really didn't have that like that. So when I see a kid that's 10 years old just talking about drama with her other friend that goes on TikTok, it's just so sad to see, since it's like, where's your childhood? You shouldn't be like speaking about drama. And it's because when I was little, I used to want like a ravioli making kit, not an iPad. So they don't play with toys, they don't play with dolls, they don't play with cars. They're missing on their own childhood. Imagine a kid with a kid brain whose brain is not developed enough, scrolling on TikTok all day with the infinite scroll design that's just made for them to see only the things they like. If we can't stop, how are they supposed to stop? They become less social, less creative, and they become codependent on online faces, therefore not being able to socialize. I have a personal observation of this because I've seen my 5-year-old stepsister grow up, and she's been very codependent on her iPad. And yes, she's balanced and everything, but she actually behaves sometimes of ways that I know that's like, oh, that's how a character acts in TikTok, which is sad to see since she's 5 years old. So if you ask a kid if he wants to go to the park or he wants to go on his iPad, 80% of the time, he's probably going to say that he or she wants to go on his iPad. But who are we to judge, since we also spend most of our day on our iPads? Yes, we're working or we're doing assignments or everything, but we also scroll on TikTok all day. And this is also a controversial sentence because kids don't have the same brain development that we have. So just imagine a 10-year-old kid scrolling on TikTok the whole day. Since we grew up with less technology, our brains developed in a different way. We grew up and we got raised learning the things we liked, we disliked, and we're not really good at. And universally, mental disorders are leading cause of disabilities in young adults. According to the National Library of Medicine, 1/5 or 20% of young adults are diagnosed with some kind of mental disorder. Most oftenly depression and anxiety. This develops before the year of 14 years old and adds negative impacts in cognitive and social behaviors. A study made by the American Psychological Association has linked that increase in social media has made a huge decline in social skills, and since kids are exposed to social media 24/7, they grew up midway with no empathy, no face-to-face connections, and not learning how to read a room. Lastly, scientists have seen direct link between mental health and academic and overall focuses, since a study made by 20 scientists, preventive meta reports shows to kids to be less creative, less curious, less interactive, and worse grades. This is probably because of the screen time that decreases the thinner cortex, and the thinner cortex is the part of the brain that makes you think critically, which is something screen time has lessened on kids, making them think less critically. So we already have seen how technology has impacted in general, but now I hope you learned and are aware of this factor of kids having more social media in their life. Thank you.